Hello everyone. Today let us discuss about life processes, chapter number 6, class 10, biology. What are the learning points of this chapter? The learning points of this chapter are: what is life processes, nutrition, respiration, transportation, and excretion. So how before starting with this chapter, let us answer to the question: how do you tell difference between what is alive and what is not alive? If you see dog running, man shouting, baby crying, we know that they are alive. What if dog or a man or a baby are in a sleep? We could still think they are alive. But how do we tell that they are alive? We'll observe the breathing of these living organisms and tell that they are alive. Of course, breathing is a very important life process. Apart from this breathing, many life processes occurs in the living organism. These many life processes run in our body that ensure the proper survival of human body. Then what is life processes? The process that occur inside our body. Why they have to occur? To maintain the body. There are many life processes which occurs in our body which helps in take care of this maintenance. So we know that energy is needed for the maintenance of our body. So we extract that energy from the food we eat. With the help of a digestive system and the respiratory system, energy is released. After that, the energy is transported by a circulatory system to all parts of the body. The waste material generated in the body are then removed by the excretory system. So we will be studying all the system in detail, not only human being but also in plants and the unicellular organism. Before going for that, let us discuss what is life processes. I'll repeat again, it's a basic function. It's one of the basic function which is performed by the living organism. For what it is performed? To maintain their life, are called as life processes. Now, what are the different life processes we can come across in the living organism? We'll see there are different types of life processes we do come across, such as you can observe over here: nutrition, respiration, transpiration, excretion, control, growth, reproduction, and the movement. So today, let us discuss more about the nutrition. So nutrition, as you know that good nutrition creates a good health, of course. Now we'll see what is nutrition. So nutrition is a process. It is one of the process by which organism takes food and utilize it to get energy. For what it is required? Nutrition is required for the growth, repair, maintenance, and etc. And then excrete the waste material from the body. So this is known as nutrition. I'll repeat, nutrition is the process by which an organism takes food. After taking food, it has to be utilized. It has to be utilized. And why it has to be utilized? To get the energy. We'll use that energy for the perform many functions such as growth, repair, maintenance, etc. So here, as you know that we need some materials, correct, which provide the nutrition for the living organism. The materials which provide nutrition to the living organisms, what do we call that materials as? Nutrients. For example, proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins. So this proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins and all will be present in the food what we eat. It might be a breakfast, lunch or a dinner. When we have that food, those food materials will contain this protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, lipids, etc. These materials will provide the nutrition to the living organism. Next, we'll move on to the mode of nutrition. There are two modes of nutrition. What are the two modes of nutrition we'll find over here? Autotrophs and the heterotrophs. We can also call it as autotrophic nutrition and the heterotrophic nutrition. What is this autotrophic nutrition? So autotrophic nutrition is nothing but a mode of nutrition. It's one of the type of nutrition in which organisms prepare their own food. They don't depend on any other organisms for the food. They'll prepare their own food. You might have heard about this, right? So example of the autotrophic nutrition is nothing but green plants, bacteria, and the blue-green algae all comes under autotrophic nutrition. Why they are called as autotrophic nutrition? Because they prepare their own food. So here the organism which carry out the autotrophic nutrition is called as autotrophs. Any organism which carry out the autotrophic nutrition is called as autotrophs. Now, what is this autos self? Tropes means fit, self-fit. They don't depend on any other organism. So they'll be using some of the simple inorganic substance. It might be the light energy or it might be the chemical energy. Using this light energy and the chemical energy, they'll synthesize their own food. So we call such organisms as autotrophs. That mode of nutrition, what do we call it as? Autotrophic nutrition. Then the next type is heterotrophic nutrition. So what is this heterotrophic nutrition? Heterotrophic nutrition is nothing but the organisms, they will not prepare their own food. They cannot prepare their own food. They depend on the other organisms for the food. They might depend on the autotrophs for the food. Examples: man, mushroom, lion, all comes under heterotrophs. The organisms which cannot prepare their own food, they are called as heterotrophs. The mode of nutrition is called as heterotrophic nutrition. They'll obtain their energy. How do they obtain their energy? By intake. They depend on the other organisms for the food, and after intake, they digest the food, and then they'll be making use of that food for the conversion of the energy, and they'll be using the energy to do the work. So we'll learn more about what is autotrophic nutrition. So here, autotrophic nutrition, as I told, it is a process by which and organisms produce its own food. So you all know that the example, one of the example is nothing but plants. Now we'll see what nutrition in the plants. As I said, this green plants, they'll prepare their own food. So own food, because they are preparing their own food, we call them as autotrophs. So they makes the food in the presence of the sunlight. You can see over here, in the presence of the sunlight only, they can prepare the food. Apart from the sunlight, they need few more raw materials. What are the raw materials? Carbon dioxide as well as water. And apart from that, in the leaf, there will be a chlorophyll. So that also helps in preparing the food. And you all know that leaf is a kitchen of a plant. So this process of preparing the food using the raw materials, we call it as a photosynthesis. I'll repeat, what is photosynthesis? It's a process by which green plants prepare food, is called as photosynthesis. So as I told, what are the raw materials? The raw materials are nothing but sunlight, chlorophyll, will helps in absorbing the sunlight, carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide enters through the stomata, which is present in the leaf, and the water will be entering to the plant with the help of the roots. So using this raw materials, the plant prepare their own food. So in this process, the solar energy or a light energy gets converted into chemical energy and the carbohydrates. The green leaves are the main site of the photosynthesis, and the green portion of the plants contain a pigment called as chlorophyll. The green pigment helps in this photosynthesis. The whole process of the photosynthesis can be shown in the equation. So what is the equation? That is 6CO2 plus 6H2O give rise to C6H12O6 plus 6O2. This is called as a reactant, and this one we call it as a product. And this reactant are nothing but the raw materials which are required for the preparation of the food. So what were the raw materials? Carbon dioxide and the water. Using this combination, this carbon dioxide and water will combine to form a glucose, and the oxygen is one of the byproduct obtained by the process of photosynthesis. So they'll absorb carbon dioxide and then they'll release the oxygen. So this process is called as photosynthesis. So remember, the water comes from the soil through the xylem tissue into the root and the stem. The carbon dioxide comes into leaf through the stomata. So now we'll see what are the main events occur during the photosynthesis. So here the first main event that occurs in the photosynthesis is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. As I said, the chlorophyll is a green pigment which is present in the leaf. This chlorophyll will help in absorption of the light energy, and after the absorption, what has to be done? The conversion of the light energy into the chemical energy. The light energy get converted into chemical energy, and apart from that, the splitting of water molecule, one of the raw material is water. The water gets splits into hydrogen and oxygen. And what about the other raw material, that is carbon dioxide, get reduced into carbohydrates. Now this carbohydrate is nothing but the food which is prepared by the plants, that will be used by the plant, and as well as it will be stored in the fruit, leaf, stem, and that will be used by the heterotrophic organism. So these are the events which occurs in the photosynthesis. Now you are observing the stomata, right? This is the stomata which will be present in the leaf, and this is a guard cells. Two guard cells are present in the stomata. This is a picture of open stomata, and this is the closed one. So what is the function of the stomata? The function of the stomata is nothing but it helps in exchange of the gases. It helps in taking in of carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis and release of the oxygen during the photosynthesis. That means I can just tell that it helps in the exchange of the gases. Apart from that, one more function of these stomata is nothing but it helps in loss of large amount of water in the form of the water vapor, and this process is called as transpiration. So this is about the nutrition in the plants. In next class, let us learn about the heterotrophic nutrition. Thank you.